We are living in a time when the whole world is fully obsessed with heroic actions. Our stories, movies, and legends are all about big, heroic, exhausting, tough tasks. Go big or go home has become our motto. But this is not the truth of our daily life. All great things are done by small daily incremental improvements over time. Mini Habit is an amazing book in this direction. The book sets a great foundation of mini habits for a great life. It resonates with the fact that it's not what we do once in a while that shapes our life, but what we do consistently. The baseline for mini habit is based on simple mathematics, which is something is far bigger than nothing. Most people assume they need to take massive action to live extraordinarily. But massive action has a massive problem. It requires motivation or a really strong willpower. If that action requires motivation, you can always find an excuse to not to do it. For example, let's say you decided to start running. Your mind will give you amazing reasons to not to do it today. Like, this will be long, you will be tired, today you haven't got the right shoes, or tonight you have a webinar to attend. What if you got tired and you won't be effective enough? You want to write your assignment, but you feel tired today. You are motivated, but what to do? So you decide, oh, let's sleep. This will give you energy. You are feeling bad about this. So you decide to set alarm an hour earlier so that you can start writing early. Next day, alarm goes off extra early. You hit the snooze, and while you are laying, you thought, the whole point was to be refreshed. And I'm not. I'm tired, so I better be sleeping. When you wake up, it's already time for having breakfast. Then you rush for your class, and then this cycle keeps going on. Does this sound familiar to you? In such cases, these tasks are surely out of your comfort zone. So you haven't built strong willpower to take the required action, and you keep failing as the victim of Tomorrowland. For decades, Stephen wanted to build a 30-minute workout routine, but he kept failing because there was always an excuse to not to follow, like a headache, I'm tired, or today is someone's birthday. Either he doesn't have enough time or energy to follow up. Then he decides, what if I make the requirement of desired behavior so small that there were no reason to escape? He thought, what if the definition of a successful workout is just one push-up? He literally laughed at the thought of defining a successful workout as one push-up, but his 30-minute strategy wasn't working for him. So he got down, completed one push-up, and he referred to that one push-up as a golden push-up, because that one push-up actually changed the life of Stephen. Stephen explained, most people believe motivation breeds action. You need to get motivated to take actions. But the truth is just a opposite of this. Regardless of what you want to get motivated about, the answer always begins with action. Action comes first, motivation comes after. We want to stop saying, I need to get motivated to take action. We should start saying, I need to take action to get motivated. And this is Mini Habit Power 1. Post-movement motivation. Stephen gives a simple equation. One small step plus desired behavior equals high probability of further steps. When you take one tiny step, you don't want to stop there. You suddenly find motivation to make another step and then another and so on. Stephen doesn't stop after one push-up. He suddenly found he was willing to do more push-ups. He in fact kept going until his muscles started to ache to the point he cannot resist anymore. He also felt energy to do some other physical exercise. Stephen described this as making first step as stupid small so that your mind cannot resist or your ego doesn't let you skip this at any cost, even if you are at bad or haven't ate well or having headache. And then you let physics take over. As body in motion stays in motion or body in rest stays in rest until it is acted upon by an external force. So next time when you want to integrate a habit in your life, choose to start with mini habits. You want to start running? Don't think about 20 minutes. Instead, choose 20 steps. You want to start workout? Choose one push-up instead of 50. Set the goal of writing 50 words instead of 2000. Set the barrier so low that you never need any motivation and can't find any excuse to skip the desired behavior. Let's understand the role of willpower here. Most self-help improvement teachers believe people stays the same because they don't want to change their life. I personally beg to differ. People do want to change. Everyone is seeking for a better life. Otherwise, you won't be here. Then why real transformation is not happening? Let's understand this. Our brain is a highly complex machine which gives us different feelings at different times of the day based on multiple factors that not necessarily might be in your favor. We watch a video or read the book, we got motivated, and now we want to change the life altogether. But later we find ourselves following the same old patterns. See, the highly evolved part of your brain is prefrontal cortex, which wants to break all the limitation and keep growing. This is your thinking or analytical brain. But you also own a lesser evolved part, which is basal ganglia, or commonly referred as lizard brain, which is primarily responsible for your survival. It doesn't want you to grow, it has no aspiration to change. It wants to confirm your survival and want to make sure that you stay the same. The moment it feels threatened or changes in the older pattern, it starts coming up with the all possible reasons of why you should avoid the next step and stay in your comfort zone. So when you make the goals or you are motivated, your prefrontal cortex or the analytical brain is in charge. But later, when it's time to action or to explore that territory that you never had, now your emotional brain or lizard brains take over and you get distracted by something easy. And that's the reason most people fail to change until they're highly motivated by the circumstances that force them really hard to change. But integrating mini habits is like taking a walk on the edge or periphery of your comfort zone, which feels quite safe to your lizard brain, and it doesn't care to defend against small steps, only drastic changes. But changing slowly and taking it one step at a time, you are playing by your own brain's rule, so you don't face any resistance within. Because resistance will always be in the beginning when it feels threatened or when you're really tired. Now, motivation is never an issue. And every time you take an action, it strengthens your self-belief, which means you are more comfortable being there. And you keep reaching more of your potential and you become the part of upside spiral, which is the mini habit power number 2. Small daily action strengthen your self-belief, which expands your comfort zone and build your willpower. Almost every person who believes in self-improvement is sold on we have limitless potential. Do you really think we are acting accordingly? In reality, we only want to take actions which are comfortable, or in simpler words, we only use the potential which is already in our access. And every one of us has a different level of access to our potential. Your beliefs shapes your potential. Your potential determines what actions you are going to take. And your action determines your results. Your results shapes your belief. So every result you have today create your self-belief and determine what percentage of your potential you are going to use. Few people are really comfortable doing things which others don't want to do. Why? Because they have the access to the potential and willpower needed to take action. And this is how you get the transformational results over time using less efforts, which is the mini habit power number 3. Less efforts over time produces the same results. See, building a habit is tough in beginning, messy at middle, and easy at end. Different research has uncovered building a habit takes time, which can range from 18 to 254 days of effort. Depends on various factors like the habit and the person itself. But once ingrained, it becomes effortless and even hard to not to execute. I found this particularly true with my meditation. Something which was relatively tough and uneasy in the beginning now become a daily routine without an issue. I learned a simple 12-minute guided meditation, Isha Kriya from Sadhguru of Isha Foundation. This simple process doesn't need any special preparation. I don't need a yoga mat or any special environment. My phone along with earphone was enough. And this guided meditation Isha Kriya was available on YouTube. Within 1 year, I started learning Hatha Yoga practices and other meditation kriyas. Along with that, now I can sit for 1 hour with ease. Just imagine if I made a 1 hour yoga session plan followed by 30 minutes in starting. You can guess the result. Believe me, I did many times, but I also failed. Because trying to force myself for 1 hour of yoga session will surely need a lot of motivation and willpower, which now we understand what is wrong with that approach. And even if I succeed in doing so, it will take the same amount of time to develop that desired behavior. But there would be a high chance of quitting before achieving that required time. Building habits is like riding a bike up to the hill. Once you reach the top, you can use the gravity to roll down the hill effortlessly. And integrating mini habit is like installing a mini motor in your bike, which will push your bike to go up without pedaling up hard and breaking a sweat. Mini habits are designed for minimum willpower and maximum momentum, the perfect scenario for you and me. But if you are really serious to get some results and follow these principles, you must abide by 3 simple rules of mini habit. Rule number 1. Make it stupid small. Set a minimum requirement lower than the lowest possible motivation. You want to start running? Start with 10 or 20 steps. You want to start writing? Start with 50 words. You want to start journaling? Start with 2 sentences. And never ever cheat. Make sure you follow it, doesn't matter what. Your goal should include becoming a reader, not reading 1 book in a week. Rule number 2. Be happy with minimum. If you intend to do the minimum and then get angry on yourself for only doing the minimum, your brain will know that you are trying to manipulate yourself and it will start resisting about building the habit. Be genuinely satisfied after writing 2 sentences or with 1 push-up. Because after doing 1 push-up, you have succeeded. Now further push-ups are an option, not an obligation, which gives you sense of authority and strengthen your behavior. If you have more energy, you keep doing more and you will. But if in some case you are truly tired, you do 1 push-up and keep that behavior alive. Rule number 3. Decide a cue to remind yourself. Ingrain the new habit with something you already do. For example, you can start writing in your journal as soon as you hit the bed. Or you can do physical exercise just before you go for the shower. Start listening to podcasts as soon as you sit on your driving seat. Pairing the habit with something you already do will remind you of your desired behavior, which will eventually help you in being on the track. Right cues are really important in building habits because you may not be aware of this, but all of your habits are the result of a habit loop, which is every time you have a cue, we follow a certain pattern and receive the reward. Rewards also play an important role. Also start rewarding yourself more often, especially after you complete a milestone of any habit. Mini habits are designed for minimum willpower exertion and maximum momentum, the perfect scenario for me and you. Now decide one area of your life where you want to see improvement or you are not happy with. Then decide one extremely small step that you could do on daily basis. Make sure the step is so small that you never need external motivation to take action. Choose one cue or a pattern which you already follow in your life, which can serve as the reminder for that stupid small action. Write everything down and keep reminding yourself that how easy it is, and in any moment if you feel strong resistance, back off and go smaller. Never think a step is too small, but keep reminding yourself something is always bigger than nothing. I know you want to go bigger, but I would highly suggest if you are anxious to make big progress, you better use that energy and ambition toward extra reps, but not in the bigger goals. Be a person with embarrassing goals and impressive results, instead of one of the many people with impressive goals and embarrassing results. If this video has added values to your life, consider sharing with at least 3 people who can get benefit from this. And if you want more such content, please subscribe to my channel. I will keep uploading such mindful content which helps you in improving the quality of your life.